Good afternoon. I'm Jacob Rice, and I'm here in Dallas for the Memphis Tigers and SMU matchup here on Saturday. Now, on behalf of the Daily Ombudsman Sports, I just wanted to give anyone who's tuning into the game a few quick facts before this game really kicks off. For the Tigers' fifth game of the season, they had to fly to Cincinnati to play the Bearcats. Memphis, unranked, 3-1, and 2-1 in conference play, had to face the number 7 Bearcats. The University of Memphis takes several precautions so they can keep playing football and coexist with the coronavirus. But one of those changes has a huge impact on how loud the stadium gets. The Memphis Tiger rugby team is atop their division after beating Auburn. And if they win their last 2 games, they could win the division. But President Joel Witcher is a key cog for this team. Now, Bowman says the best way to clean a surface is not to spray it and then remove it. Instead, he recommends putting it on and then waiting about 2 to 3 minutes. When that timer is up, it is a great idea to go back and dry it. He says this way can get rid of most bacteria or germs that can linger on a surface for a long amount of time. I'm standing outside Le Bonheur Children's Hospital in downtown Memphis. This is where Caldwell was in October 2018 and February 2019 when he was fighting kidney failure. The team prepares for their final home game of the season here against UCF. After that, the team flies out to Dallas to play the SMU Mustangs in the season finale. Once that game is over, every team in the conference packs their bags and heads out to Connecticut for the AAC Conference Tournament. Whichever team wins that tournament goes straight into the NCAA tournament. All seemed well for the Memphis Tigers after they beat Arkansas State to start the season. After dozens of hurdles and changes with COVID-19, the 2020 season seemed possible. But instead of the team getting closer to having things back to normal, the Memphis football team was hit with another battle. The American Athletic Conference, Houston, and Memphis released a statement on September 12th saying their upcoming game was not happening after Memphis players tested positive for COVID-19. Memphis head coach Ryan Silverfield released a statement about the matter 2 days afterwards.
We're currently still pausing our football workouts as we deal with COVID and its effects of contact tracing.
Days earlier, the Commercial Appeal published a story about Memphis players testing positive on September 11th. Their source wanted to remain anonymous and told the CA several players were in a party bus after the Arkansas State win.
There was no party bus. The first we had heard of it in our program was from a media report.
One day before the game was postponed, Memphis Athletics put a stop to all football activities. They said there are several cases, none are serious, and they are being linked to something outside of usual team activities. They did not expand on how many cases there are or how the outbreak happened. 3 days after football activities were stopped, Silverfield made his prepared statement. Silverfield said, "The program is taking many steps to getting through this.
We have had no hospitalizations due to COVID. We are following national and conference recommended guidelines."
After the party bus rumor was published in the Commercial Appeal, Memphis linebacker O'Brien Goodson tweeted, "The party bus claim was a lie, and Arkansas State needed to be tested." Goodson was one of the only known people with the team to deny it, and the tweet was soon deleted after. An Arkansas reporter at the Arkansas State and Kansas State game said the Red Wolves are without 13 players. The same reporter said Arkansas State's next game is rescheduled due to a COVID-19 outbreak. Arkansas State is not sharing any details about how or how many. The Memphis Tigers are now having to organize a new day to play Houston, and it may be hard to find an open space for both teams. The Tigers are currently scheduled to play UTSA on September 25th. Reporting for the Memphis Mirror, I'm Jacob Rice. The Memphis Rifle program has their fair share of challenges during the COVID-19 pandemic. After spending around a month practicing, the team already operates differently than last year. Head coach Dan Ermsmeyer says the team returns from an odd offseason that was very different than any other he has ever coached.
There's been no recruiting going on really per se. There's no official visits, no national matches to travel to and recruit kids. There's been no full team meetings so far this year.
The team wears masks in their facility, remains socially distant, and disinfects surfaces and shell casings. Ermsmeyer says, aside from department guidelines, some of the safety measures were made together as a team based on what they thought was safe.
How to best use the training room, how to best space ourselves out inside the range. We're shooting every other firing point right now, wearing masks in the range. We had a deep cleaning in the off season to make sure that everything was nice and clean.
The team does not use their facility as a group. Instead, the team practices individually to encourage social distancing. When no one is practicing, their facility is empty. Sophomore Taylor Gibson says practicing alone does not help her get better.
I've been really struggling this year with having the motivation to really key in practice. So it takes a lot more effort for me to kind of get into a groove than it did last year. Just because I gained so much from everybody else's energy.
Ermsmeyer says she is not the only one who dislikes the individual practices, but the team has been lucky to be able to compete later in the fall. The team's first competitive activity is a virtual match against West Virginia. In October, both teams will perform in their own facility and compare scores as a practice match. Gibson says she looks forward to the West Virginia event because it will be one of the first times the team practices together.
So just being able to be with everybody at one time for the first time is going to be really exciting, and I think it's going to help bring up my motivation again.
Ermsmeyer says although it is not a competition, it is going to do more for the team than just get another practice in. He says it is making the team very excited to get back to work. Reporting for the Memphis Mirror, I'm Jacob Rice.